Hello friends, this is Cara-Renee with B.Reborn Art and Healing, coming to you with part 2 of our new beginner's junk journal making series. So this is the series I talked about where we're going to go from start to finish together on the channel. For anybody that's new and would like to see how you would put together a journal, again, from start to finish. So I've already showed these things in the other video. This is just some textile stuff. I just thought I'd show you again. That's going to go beautiful with this kit, as well as we've got some fabric that we're going to tear up and use. And we've got some other bits here. And then these are the fabrics that are going to be part of the journal as well. These we'll probably make some pockets out of these. This is a pink, it's hard to see, pink polka dot, and this like sagey green polka dot, really beautiful. And then this will be the cover. Okay, so in today's video, as I mentioned before, we are going to, I don't need this, we are going to I'm going to talk to you about how I choose my signature pages and how I prep them for sewing into the journal. We are also going to be putting our journal cover together using some chipboard. I'll have to pause when I get to that point and grab some tape. I generally like to use chipboard. This is 50 point chipboard, I believe, which we'll get to in a minute, but I like the really heavy structure of that. This is going to be a hardcover journal. And my husband and I don't really eat cereal here, so we don't ever get bigger boxes, really, or boxes that are deep enough to do a 2 signature journal, because this journal is going to be 2 signatures, which means our spine is going to be 2 inches wide. I always allow 1 inch spine for every signature in the journal. And what that allows is it allows you to stuff that baby full without getting this gator mouth it's really hard to work in a journal that won't close, right? So mine might go a little bit out just at the edges, but not a whole lot. So that's why I allow 1 inch per signature. So you'll see the benefit of that as we go along. So let me talk to you about my recipe for signature pages. So I usually choose 4 to 5 digitals. Because we're only doing 2 signatures, we're going to do 5 digitals, and we're going to do 2 vellum pages. I don't count the vellum because I generally don't put anything on the vellum inside the journal. They're more decorative in nature, but you're going to love how they work. And I do 2 music or other. So that could be music paper, that could be old book pages. Today I'm using copies because I've got some great vintage copies. So you do not have to use authentic ephemera. You can use copies. You just want to make sure that if you're making a copy of something and putting it in a journal that you're going to sell, that you have the copyright to that it is out of copyright, that it's in the public domain, those kinds of things, so you don't get in trouble if you sell the journal. Now, if I'm not selling the journal, I don't worry about that. So I've got my 2 music pages for each are vintage copies that I have. And I do 1 coffee dyed paper, which I realize now that I did not grab that before I sat down. And then I do like to have 1 envelope flip kind of thing in each signature. So I've got those here, and then 1 doily. I don't usually put doilies in my journals, but I thought they would be perfect for this. I just don't know how one sews it in so that it's, going to be structurally sound. So we'll play with that. But before we get going, I'm going to step aside and go get 2 pieces of coffee dyed paper. They're just not within reach. Just a moment. Just like that, we're here. So these will have to be cut down because they are 8.5 by 11. They're letter size paper. And my digitals, I don't remember if I mentioned it before in another video, but my digitals always print with a border. I need to move this up. This is too close. They always print with a border, so then my pages end up being smaller. So I make my pages they're usually 8¼ inches high by 5¼ inches wide. Okay, so these are the envelopes. So this is going to be a three envelope flip, and I haven't decided if I'm going to sew this into the signature. I probably will, just because it's part of it. But I like to have that extra dimension, and you don't have to decorate these before you put them in the signature. They can be covered after you get them in. So set those aside, and then let's talk about, this is the chipboard, which we're not ready for, but I have 3 pieces here because I'll need to use 2 for the front and the back, and then 1 for the spine. And now my camera is crooked. I know, that's so silly to be worried about that, but I can see the grid on my table. I am a little bit nasally. I'm still sick, so I hope that you'll pardon me for that. But let's see what we've got here. So these are the signature pages. Let me just sort these really quick here. Thought I had them separated, but I must have put them back together in the same stack. So these are the signature pages. I'm not a huge fan of this one, and in fact, I just don't know. I'm not a fan of these dresses going in all different directions. So I'm reaching over here and grabbing. Oh, wait a minute. These are the signature pages right here. Not this stack. This is an extra. These are extras. Boy, gangbusters already. Looks like I left some white on that one. That's okay. So I print on the front and the back. You do not have to do that. If you left your other side one side not printed, you could stencil on it or whatever you want. You could paint on it, totally up to you. I like to have them covered. So this is some tea stain paper. This is from the kit. This is tea stained, and then tea stained. So that's 1 signature. So we've got, and these are all digitals, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pages. Conversely, so we have this one, the tea stain paper again on the back, and then tea stain. Oh, those are all tea stain, but that one, interesting. So yeah, and what we'll do is mostly on the ones that don't have a really beautiful image, that sometimes I don't like to cover this up, which you'll see as we move through the series, but you can do a lot with the back. The coffee dyed back or tea stained back pages are really nice for putting bigger pieces of ephemera on. So then I have 2 pieces of vellum for each signature. This is from a vintage book that I have. It's absolutely phenomenal book, but I thought we would put that in. This measures, just because this is going to be a different measurement than the journal pages, just because of the scan. This measures, it looks like almost 10 3/4 by 7 3/8. So we'll get to that in a second. We'll talk about folding these and all of that, but that's 1 page. This is, I just purchased these digitals from somebody on Etsy. I went ahead and, because I'm going to give this journal away, but I'm pretty sure this is this is out of copyright, but this is just 1 scan that I did from the stuff that I purchased, and I just love it. I think it's really, really beautiful. So, and the vellum is lovely because you can see through it, which is lovely. And you'll see when we arrange the pages what the benefit of that is, because we'll put a really beautiful print on the other side, and you'll be able to see it through this. This is heavy vellum, thick vellum. I will link it down below in case you're interested. My printer, I can no longer risk the lighter vellum because it broke my other printer, and I just can't risk that. So that's the 2nd page, and then another page from the kit, and then another page from the kit. So those are our 4 vellum pages, and then we'll do 2 pages that are music pages or whatever. I think I've got more than that here. I think I've got an extra. So this one is again a vintage copy from my stash. So we've got a digital on the back, and then this verse on the front. We've got another one. Oh, I just love this one. I've used this one so much, and a digital on the back. And then another music paper, and that's upside down, but that's okay. It's not going to matter because it's going to go in like that. And then our last one is this cover, which I absolutely adore. This is, I just have this on my desktop because it's a fun background, but this is from Pink Monarch Prints. So that's that. And this is, I believe, is an extra. So I'm going to get that out of our way. And then these are the 2 coffee dyed pages. So let's go ahead and work on signatures first. So I'm going to go ahead and just start folding these. And we will have to cut, again, as I mentioned, we'll have to cut the coffee dyed ones down because they're not the same size as, they're too big for the journal, because my journal cover will be 6 by 9, and I don't like my coffee dyed pages to stick out past the really good thick digital pages, because these are all printed on 65-pound paper. That's my preference. You do not need to use that heavy of a weight. I just don't like the flimsiness of 20-pound paper, and I don't even like 32-pound paper for journal pages. So, but you can decide what you like and do what you like. So again, and these will probably have to be cut down as well. So we'll look at all that in a second, because we're also going to need to talk about how do you resolve, if you feel you need to resolve, your pages being uneven edges on the outside. So when you bind them in your signature, they will be uneven over here, because when you fold pages together, so like when we do this and we start putting these all together, they begin to get bulk. The pages will stick out because of the bulk at the center. So, and again, much of this is going to make more sense as we continue on. So I'm just going to continue folding these, and I'll be back in a moment. So I'm going to pause here because I want to make sure that this is not too wide. We may have to cut a little bit off of this. It seemed like it was a little bit tall, but we will deal with that when we get there. And again, you can put anything into your signatures. As I mentioned in the intro video, as a disclosure, I am not what would be considered a true junk journaler, but I feel like the language does not matter. And so I say I'm making a junk journal because I do use recycled materials to make my ephemera and things like that. And I just don't like the idea of getting caught up over language when the whole idea of this is to be creative, to create something beautiful, whether you're keeping it for yourself or you're giving it away. That's the joy of it. So why would we get all persnickety about what we call something? So I am not going to make a journal ever, probably. I mean, I might someday, if I get brave, make a journal completely out of junk. It doesn't bring me joy. The thought of it does not even bring me any joy. So, but you could do that too. And we'll talk about a little bit of those details in terms of like how, if you're using pages that are different sizes, how do you make sure you get them all captured into your signature when you're sewing them in is really important. So, but yeah, so you can do what you want. The idea of this journal is just to give a head start or a little push or encouragement to those of you who maybe haven't tried it. I've heard a lot of people that love to make ephemera, but it's really hard to take that chance and make that first journal. I'm just going to get rid of this white because it's making me crazy here. I didn't quite, because I have to cut the white borders off my paper. And when I print on both sides, sometimes I don't turn the paper the right way, so I end up with white still showing on one side, which is not a huge deal. You do want to make sure that you crease your pages really well, both at this stage, but also before you sew them into your signature will. Oh, that's off. That's okay. That's okay. I am an imperfect cutter apparently, but I think this is a digital page, so we're going to leave that digital image showing on this side. Okay, there we go. And then if you like to ink your pages, which I do, I will also make sure that we ink these together. I'll probably speed that process up because it's painstakingly boring, but I do like to ink my pages. In the next video, we will also, we might get some edge punches out and do a little bit of decorative edges, round some edges. We may sew around, we'll probably sew around some pages, probably not a lot because I know not everybody has a sewing machine. It is not a necessity, it's just a fun addition if you have that, opportunity. So, but you certainly do not have to. These pages are really weird because you can see that doesn't really fold evenly, but I think they're really pretty, so I wanted to go ahead and use them. And then one more, and so this is digital, so we'll leave this on the coffee dyed or tea stain paper on the inside. And I see some white on this one as well, but that's okay. All right, just going to move that stuff out. I'm going to bring my trimmer over and we're going to start trimming this stuff up. So it will be hard for you to see everything I'm doing because I literally, in order to see the top of it, just because of my desk, it's in my lap, like it's in my gut. So you're not going to be able to see the top of the cutter. So I'm just showing you, let's just show you with a ruler that these are, oh, that's over 5 1/4. That's strange. Okay, we're just gonna even these up and make them 5 1/4. All of them 5 1/4 inches wide by 8 1/4 inches tall. So let me do that while you watch here really quick. And you don't have to be this precise either. If you want your, oops, that moved. So that moved. Let me try that again. You could have pages be all different sizes. You just, again, have to make sure that you capture all of that in your, when you sew your signatures in. So just a caution there. And I do apologize that you guys can't see the cutter, but I think you guys probably know how to cut. I am using my precision trimmer because it is precise, especially when I'm doing signature pages. So, where I need really accurate measurement and cuts. So it is an investment, but it is a worthwhile one in my opinion. So again, I'm just cutting down all of these, including, well, because these were printed on 8.5 by 11 paper, they do need to be trimmed on the edge as well. If you were to use an authentic one, an original, and it was really big, you can fold the edge. See, that's not even 5 1/4, which is fine. So this is smaller than the width of our journal. But there's ways that if you had a longer one, you could fold in one edge, so it would open like this, but then you'd have an extra piece here that you'd fold over and you'd have maybe a pocket or something. But I'm not going to be showing you that in this particular journal. So just a smidge off of that one as well, and almost there. Usually I do all this stuff off camera, so bringing you along for the ride. So this one will have to be cut all the way, including height, because I know that the coffee dye is bigger. And unfortunately, it means we have to cut off some of the crispy edge, which I love the crispy edge from the coffee dyeing, but we do have to trim that off. Okay, and the last one, and then I'll get rid of all my little shredded pieces of paper over here. I wish I could figure out something to use these for, because there's so many of them. I don't know. If you guys have any ideas, I'd love to hear it. Wouldn't that be cool if you could find a way to use all those? I'm sure somebody's thought of it, but not me. Okay, let me get rid of these. One little scoop there. Okay. And I'm going to set the trimmer aside. We're going to come back to the trimmer here in a moment. But let's go ahead, and then what I do is I just look at them so you can see they are pretty much all the same height. And height and width. Okay. So now I'm going to separate them by type. So that's our coffee dyed. These are our music pages. This is our vellum. Move this up again. I want you guys to be able to see. Vellum, and then these are our digitals. So let's look at our digitals first. I'm just going to divide them. I'm not even going to think too much about it. I'm just going to splice and dice them. I think they were somewhat split already. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So I always start a signature with a digital. You can do what you want to do. And so I would take this and then I would pick, I usually like to go for a music paper because we can have that vellum really shine through. So, and I do kind of watch for duplicates. So if I have a vellum page, if I have a digital in here in my digital pages, I would make sure I didn't duplicate that in a vellum page. So it's not a huge deal, but that's just what I do. I think I'm going to pick this one. So we're going to stick this one. I'm going to turn it this way, and I'm going to stick this into the next page so that this page shows through it. Okay, like that. Isn't that so pretty? Oh, I love it. I never get tired of that. Oh, except I don't like that. I don't want that print in this space. So I'm just going to change my mind. I'm going to change my mind on, get those out of order, Cara-Renee. Let's choose this one instead. There we go. Same diff, right? And this thick vellum is very heavy duty. It's really nice. So there's that. And then we'll want, let's see, let's put a coffee dyed paper in here. And oh, we can't forget our envelopes. What did I do with the envelopes? Right here. So let me pause here. So I'm just going to stick these inside for now because they will get attached as flips on these later, but this is going to go into the signature as well. So we need another book music paper. So I think I'd like this one. And then actually, I've got a lot of digitals here. I forgot. I may not be able to use all these. I don't usually put that many in. So let's go ahead and put that there and that there. Oh, we have another, yeah. Okay, let's stick another vellum page. Stick that there. And then this other music paper here. And then, oh, we've got too many digitals, you guys. We've got too many. So let's see what we've got. So we've got this one. Let's just see if we like what it looks like right now. My idea is that it's better to have too much to start with than not enough. Do we have, yeah, we've got some pink there. And then we've got that and that and that. So I think I'd like to put one more because I think I do want this one in the signatures. I'm not sure if I love that or not. I think if I have to discard something, it's going to be that one. So let's see what else we want in here. Yeah, I think we've got one too many, or two too many. Too many. Do we got very much pink going on here? Yeah, we got a good amount. So I think I'll put this one in the center. Okay. So that is our first signature. So this is what we run into. Oh, why is there two? Did I put 3 music papers in here? I think I did. Let's look. We've got one because I only have one left. Unless I didn't look correctly before. 1, 2. Oh, we did. I put 3 in here. We don't need 3 in here. Silly girl. Let's do that. Oh, that will be lovely like that. Yeah, I like that. So this is what I was talking about where when you start putting those pages together, you get this, okay? I don't mind it. If you don't like that, you could trim them so that they're even. I am not going to do that. I love that they looked a little bit fanned. If I were to do this, I would just open this up, okay? I would open it up, but see, once you open it up, they don't hang over as much. So I don't know. That's partly why I don't worry about it. But of course, if that's a problem for you, you could definitely rectify that. I'm wondering about that vellum being in that position though. Well, we can always change our mind before we sew them in. So in this instance, I'm not going to trim those and even them up at all. And so then you do want to have some tools around you that help you work with the signatures, both as you're preparing them, but also when you're binding them. So I'm sorry, I have a badly cut thumb, so I'm not entirely functional here. So that is our first signature. And I'm saying first just because we did it first, but you could swap them around if you don't like that image or whatever. So we're gonna throw this one out. I wasn't a big fan of these pages anyway, so so this is the one we have for signature 1. So it looks like we don't have a big choice here. I think we'll use this one. So we'll have this be the first page. Okay, and then let's see, we'll toss it up. Let's put the coffee dyed here. We'll put a music paper here, and then we'll slide a vellum page in between. How about we slide this one in? Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, oh, that's so cool. But look at that. See, you can see that little old garden. I love it. So this will be a little bit trickier when we bind it because this vellum page will move, and you have to kind of be careful to line it back up with, so it's, if it matters to you that it's even from top to bottom. If that doesn't matter, you don't need to fret about it. Okay. And then there we go. And let's see what else we've got. Let's do this page, and then we'll do this page. How about we just throw the other vellum in there, like so, and then we'll put that one there, and then let's grab our other envelope set. This one's the envelopes aren't all as big as the other ones, which is fine. But again, that will give us a chance to talk about how you make sure you capture all those edges into your signature. So that's that. And then we might move some stuff around. I'm already feeling like I don't like this. And I don't like this kind of envelope. We might do this envelope as a flip out, so we might not sew this one in. So because it doesn't have a lot to grab onto here, we might do that. I'm going to keep it in here just for now, and then let's just go ahead and stick this one in here. And then I need to find a place for this other pink one. So let's, oh, I think I threw 2 out of the other one, didn't I? Did we take 2 out? Let me see. 1, 2, 3. There's 3. I think I'm going to switch something out back out. I'm going to switch something over here. Actually, I'm going to switch this with this and put this vellum in more in the front. Yeah, I like that. And break up some of these other pages a little bit. And then we can put this pink here. And then that. And that. Okay. So this one's got a little bit more of a of a uneven edge here. I'm not sure why that is, but it is what it is, as they say. So now let's count the pages, okay? So we've got 1, I don't count the vellum, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, goodness gracious, 6, 7, 8, and then 9. Our envelope is 9. So I want to make sure our other one is the same. So help me remember, that was 9 pages without the vellum. If I plan to put stuff on the vellum, then I would count it. This one I'm not liking. I feel like it's sticking out way more than this one, isn't it? Interesting. Okay, so this one has 9. Let's see what this one has. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for the envelope, 7. We don't have enough. Why is this one so much more? Maybe we need to pull one out of here. I think probably we'll pull one out of here. So let's see, I had a repetitive page here. I think that one of these can come out. So we've already got some pink there, so I think I'll pull this pink page out. Okay, there we go. Now, that being said, guys, your signatures don't have to have the exact same number of pages. However, if they don't, you do want to make sure that when you're decorating them, that you are just evenly distributing the bulk, so that one signature is not, you know, hugely fatter than another. So those are our signatures ready to go. So I might do some stitching around some of these off camera, just because that takes a lot of time on video. And then, but I'll leave some pages so that I want you to see what it looks like. So I might just do a couple in each signature. And then in the next video, we'll do some decorative edges and things like that. So again, not a necessity, but it's definitely an option. So those are our signatures. They will be ready to go in the next video. We will do the sewing in. So now we're going to work on the cover. So when I have a journal that is 5 1/4 inches wide and 8 1/4 inches high, I make my covers. I don't make them 6 by 9. 6 by 9? No, I don't. So let me write this down. So our pages are 5 1/4 by 8 1/4. So our cover would be, let's say, so 5 1/4. Let's make it 5 3/4 by 8 3/4. Okay, so slightly smaller than 6 by 9. Okay, so I like to mark this before I get my cutter over. This is a pretty heavy chipboard, so let's see how tall it is. It is 8 1/2, so that means we're going to have to cut it the other direction. So I'm going to make a mark, and I'm going to cut this 8 3, or measure it 8. Do we want it 8 3/4? That's a whole 1/2 of an inch. It's a whole 1/2 of an inch. So maybe we'll do 8 1/2. I'm sorry to waffle on you guys. That's not very cool in a teaching kind of tutorial, but we're gonna change our mind. So we're gonna do that the same on the second piece. I have a cold, so I've got cold brain. So that will be our 2 cover pieces. So I'm going to bring the big trimmer over, the big mama, and I want to show you how well this cuts the chipboard. So this is the chipboard. It's pretty hefty, very, very, very solid. I mean, really hard to bend. So that's why I like it. So I need to put it all the way up though, because otherwise I won't get a good cut. So I'm actually going to open this up just so I can check my measurements as well. So we are going 8 1/2. So there's 8 1/2, just making sure my mark is good. So there we go. Okay, so 8 1/4, and then we're going to cut the other height 5 3/4. So let's get this straight. Oh, 5 3/4 is so hard to see on here. Let's cut the other one first, because we got this fold from where where the cutter folds, and I always get really discombobulated with my cutting there, using that as a measurement. So let's so that is our 8 1/4. Make sure I'm not confused. I've got some cold brain here. Why is that? I guess it's right. Okay, so we're going to turn it, and we're going to make this 5 3/4. So we need to use the ruler because this is pain in the patootie. So I'm going to go ahead and just put that up to that edge and make a mark here. Okay. And go ahead and cut that. Okay, and then I just cheat and I just bring this up, make sure I'm going the right direction. This is our 8 1/2 side, so we're going to turn it, and then I'm going to just make a line and cut that. So it's a little risky, but perfection is not at play. If you watch my video, you'll know that that's my motto. And and since you're new, if you're new and you're a beginner, let me introduce you to Penelope. Penelope is our studio mascot. My oldest daughter made this for me for Christmas, and all my subscribers named her. So this is Penelope. She's the sleeping studio bear. She sleeps all the time. She never wakes up. She's just not a problem at all. Doesn't give me any trouble. She doesn't even ask for food. It's amazing. Okay, so that's our front and our back, and you can see they are exactly even. Okay, exactly even. So now we need to cut our spine piece. Now let's see if we can use this. I don't think it's 2 inches though, if I recall. It is 8 1/2, but I don't think it's 2 inches. Oh, it is. It's more than 2 inches. So we can cut this down. So we're going to cut this down to 2 inches. Do we want to go 2 1/4? Let's go ahead and buy us a little bit of room. That's 2 1/2 is too much. So I'm going to go 2 1/4. So I'm just going to slide this in here and do 2 1/4 inches. Okay, and then this takes some muscles. Ugh. There we go. So we are going to tape that together on today's video, and then we'll be done for the day. So give me a quick minute, and I'm going to find my tape because I did not come prepared to the table. So just a moment. So what I like to do is I have this gaffer's tape, and I will link it. Let me just make a quick note so that I don't forget that I need to link the vellum and the gaffer's tape. This is a game changer for me because it is a strong tape, and because it's clear, well, mostly clear, I think. I don't think it's really white. Let's take a look at it. I think it's clear. Yeah, so see how it's clear? Most fabric will cover it up because we are going to be doing a fabric cover. So what I like to do is I get some regular tape out as well. Let me just grab my dispenser of just cello tape, clear tape. And what I like to do is I bring this in, and I just have a gap of probably, let's do this, since again this is a real live tutorial, about 1/8 of an inch gap between the two sections. So this would be a cover and this would be the spine. Okay, but that's not going to stay in place for us to tape it. So I like to put this down, and then I'm going to reach for my tape. Now I like to do this because when I make my journals this way, everything just flops open. And it's delightful. It's very, very, very good. So I'm going to just hold this and make sure it's all nice and even. And then I'm going to plop this piece of tape on here. Okay. And if it's not perfect, don't worry about it. Okay. Binding journals, making journals takes some practice. And the more you do it, the better you'll get and the more confident you'll feel about your process. So that's that. I don't need to do it on the other side because we're secured. So I'm going to grab my tape and have that ready, and I'm going to do the same here. So again, we're leaving about 1/8 of an inch gap between those two pieces. Okay. Ah, it keeps moving. I have a Dayquil brain. We're going to be getting snow here, so I'm really trying to, as much as I can tolerate being upright, trying to get some content on the channel before the weather changes, because if we have a storm, we usually lose power. So the gaffer's tape, what I do is I get 4 pieces, because I'm going to put a piece on this side, and then I'm going to put a piece here, so here and here, and I'm going to turn it over. I'll wrap the additional tape that's up here around, and I do another piece on the other side. So I'm just going to go off camera, and I'm going to just cut 4 pieces so that we're ready to roll. Here we go. Let's do this. Ah, we're stuck together. Okay, so I'm just going to bring this up, and because we secured that with the clear tape, we should be able to just plop this down. I do try to get it kind of evenish because I'm just that's just me, but it doesn't really matter. So I'm going to put that on there and just give it a really good burnish. And then we're going to put the other piece over here. Like that. I usually make 3 signature journals, so I'm gonna probably feel a loss that I don't have a 3rd signature. But I didn't want to make this too cumbersome and too much either. I could have done 1 signature, but I decided 2 was kind of a happy medium. So just rolling that tape up to there, and then just giving that a good press, and then we're going to use our other 2 pieces and do the same going this way. And again, I'm going to go longer on this side since I have more extra on the top, so that we have that to go wrap around the other side. So same here. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect. And boom, there we go. So again, as I've mentioned, we will be sewing our signatures into this cover. I will also show you how to make a spine template so that your holes in your spine can match up with your signatures. So that's what she looks like. Okay, so what I do with a spine template is I just take a piece of heavy stock paper and I cut a piece that measures the same dimensions as the spine, and then I'll show you the very first thing in the next video how you can fold that spine up to create your template. And I typically do a hidden spine. I'm not going to do a hidden spine today. I mean, for this series, we will have our strings actually show on the outside of the journal, which will be fun. I haven't done that in quite a while. So let me show you what these look like just before I let you go. It's a generous space. Okay, so look at that space. Oh, that's really big. So that's a generous space. So probably what we're going to be able to do is we might take some time and make an external piece, like an envelope folio or some kind of a bigger, bulkier center thing. So let me show you what I mean here, because that was a little bit too wide. I should have just done the 2 inches, because these are going to be spaced like this. And look at the hole we have in the middle. So we could put something else in the center, and we might do that. So I might plan that into the series, just to have an external piece that can just slide in there. So, because that is a lot of space. Even for me, that's a lot of space. I should have just did 2 inches. I'm not sure what I was thinking. It was the Dayquil running my life. So that is it for today, my friends. I hope that this was helpful. If you have any questions, please let me know, and I will answer those questions in the next video. Hopefully, I do schedule ahead, so hopefully we won't get into overlapping situations, but And if you like this video, if you like what you're seeing here, please do subscribe to the channel. It helps my channel to grow. It helps other people to see my content. And when you give a thumbs up or you subscribe or you comment, it tells the YouTube algorithms that you like what you're seeing and that potentially other people would like to see it too. And I'm not a big fan of the algorithms on YouTube, but it, you know, it is what it is. And so any help that you guys can give to help me grow the channel, I would very, very much appreciate it. So I will see you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.